Squirrel, oh, you're still here. Oh shit. Okay, I think this is the place. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it has been 2 years since I moved to London, and it has been a love-hate relationship. Some of my friends are considering moving now as well, so I thought maybe today I'll do a 2-year review. A little bit of context. When I finished my master's 2 years ago, I was torn between going back to Singapore or staying in London. What I did in the end is, in addition to 20 other applications in Singapore, I applied to only one job in London, and London offered me first.
Oh, wow.
So I took that as a sign and flew to London, which made UK the 5th country I've lived in. And here we are, 2 years later, doing a review of my London experience. If you have lived in London, feel free to share your perspective as well. Sharing is loving. Let me start with the positive. I think one of my favorite things about London is the traveling. Because of the 4 airports here and also the proximity, it makes it very easy to travel across Europe, and it has been amazing. Initially, I thought I would come here for 2 years and then maybe move to New York, but I couldn't be more wrong. Europe is so diverse and there are so many places that I want to visit, so 2 years is definitely not enough. Not enough. So if you are planning to come here for traveling, remember that. I did travel a little bit within UK as well, but it's actually not really cheaper than going abroad, so I haven't done much. But I do really like the countryside and the national parks, so hopefully next year I'll go to Scotland. The next thing I want to talk about is probably the weather. People talk about weather a lot, and I used to think that's a stereotype, but it's not. But it's not. And I find myself doing the same after moving here for probably just 2 months. Now it's getting colder. You hear a lot of this in the office, like, oh, it's freezing today. It's so grim. It's getting so dark. Then when it's sunny in the summer for like 10 days, people be like, ah, such a nice day. So lovely. It's a shame that we're working inside. Let's go to the park. I don't know why, because to me it feels like the same weather 80% of the time. Like today, just cloudy and a little bit of grey. But people actually get depressed by it. I guess only the Asians who grew up in the warmer parts of Asia truly embrace this weather. It has been 2 years, and I still find the cold pretty refreshing. And you don't know how happy I am that when I go out for the whole day, I don't need to apply any sunblock. The UV is actually very low, most of the time. While it's hard to get people to come out in the colder days, they're usually up for a pint. No matter how the weather changes, the pub is always there. Relative to what I'm used to, people drink a lot here. I still remember when I just moved here and started working, my colleagues will invite me out for drinks after work, which I think is super nice. So I was like, oh, they're so welcoming. But very soon, I became like, again? Didn't we just drink yesterday? Oh my god, there's a dog. But people are nice. I appreciate the invite though. Now I think I'm used to it. Sometimes I just join, and if I don't feel like drinking, I might just get a soda water. Yeah. You do you, I do me, with my water. Maybe that links to the friendship part, because I think some people are worried about making friends here. I won't lie, I did feel slightly lonely at the beginning when I moved here, because a lot of my closer friends didn't come to London. But I think London's diversity is amazing. You have literally all kinds of people here, and they are generally quite welcoming. So pretty soon I actually reached a stage that I need to say no to invites, because I need to focus on my inner peace. Oh, there's a nice dog. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I think one tip I have about making friends is to form groups, so it's more stable because people take turns to organize stuff. Now let's talk about some activities. Well, the first thing is art. I love the art scene in London, especially compared to Singapore. Oops. There are so many museums and galleries. There are also a lot of theaters like musicals and plays. So many talented actors here. I love them. Yeah. I think another big part of my day-to-day life is exercise. I live in Shoreditch and there are a lot of nice studios around me, whether it's like gyms or yoga. I also play squash, badminton regularly with my friends. So I think, yeah, generally people are quite active here. There are other things to do like Winter Wonderland around Christmas. I just went to a haunted house, theme park. I can't remember now, but yes, a lot of things to do. So like what I said, I actually need to say no to things sometimes because me time is important. Slow down in a big city. We talk about the diversity in London. I just want to reiterate that I feel London is super international. Singapore and New York are very international as well, but I could be wrong, but my personal opinion is I feel London is more diverse. And as a result of the diversity, you get all kinds of cuisines here in London, and they are pretty authentic. The only complaint I've heard so far is there's no good Mexican food in London. Just sharing what I heard. Some of my friends asked me about safety as well, and I actually feel London is pretty safe. And I'm not sure why there's a stereotype about, as someone who has lived in Asia, I do find London pretty safe. Okay, actually, I really want to film the squirrel.
80 minutes later.
I feel comfortable walking along at night as long as it's a well-lit area in Zone 1. Most of my female friends say the same as well. I'm not sure why there's a stereotype about people being stabbed in London. One explanation I've heard is that it does happen, but usually between gangster fights. So if you're not part of a gang, it shouldn't involve you. So the only issue I have with London safety is those bikers who try to grab your phone. But yeah, just hold your phone really tight. Now I think I'm gonna go to my biggest pain. Money. When I just moved to London, my friends asked me, how do you find it? How is it? And I told them, everything's great except money. And 2 years later, it's still the same, but now I have a better understanding and a more detailed explanation. So firstly, the income. Constantly, when I received my offer from my current company in London, I also received an offer from the same company in Singapore. And it's the same level internally. And the package is the same after currency conversion. So that surprised me a little bit because I thought London would probably pay me more, but that's not the best part yet. Not only does London not pay me more, they also charge me more tax, like 20 to 30% more. I'm literally getting a pay cut to move to London. And that comes to the next part, cost of living. I strongly believe those rankings who put Singapore as the most expensive city in the world put too much weighting on car ownership, because getting a car is indeed very expensive in Singapore. But I think most other things in London are more expensive, from Uniqlo to electronic devices and food. I feel in my life right now, the only things that are cheaper than before are probably just groceries and alcohol. I might or might not make a video about how I use Excel to forecast and plan my personal finance, but the conclusion is, now that I've moved to London, and if I stay here long term, it's gonna delay the time I hit my retirement goal by 10 years. So yes, that's the difference. But I think that reflects the supply and demand of the market. So many people want to be here. It's such a special city, that's why they can afford charging people more while paying them less. And I do feel super fortunate to be able to afford my lifestyle here with just my salary. I'm probably not optimizing for my career and money as much right now, but I made that choice and I do appreciate all the experiences that I'm gaining here. So special thanks to my younger self who made the leap, and yeah, I'm very glad to be here. So that's everything that came to mind. Let me know if you have any questions for the things that I didn't cover, and hopefully it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you in my next video. Oops. It's so cute. Ugh. Does squirrel attack people? I don't know. Okay, I've never seen them so close up before. Oh. Okay, now it's getting a bit scary.